Hello everyone. I'm Yu. I'm an ecologist, not a theoretical scientist. But I like to share some stories we observe in the fixed mass systems. This seems implies a very different story from the classical theory, especially very different from the story of Shakespeare, to be or not to be. Let me first say, look at pictures to clarify the asymmetric or indeterminate. This is a symmetric interactions. But if these two persons exchange their positions, the situation should be the same. But this symmetric interactions will lead to a very noisy order. You will say, it seems that all of the participants don't know who is the chairman. But if you say, this pictures, these two persons, I think everyone knows whom they are. This is the asymmetric interactions. But no anyone could like to exchange their positions. But if you like to see these pictures, this is extremely asymmetric interactions. But these things have very good orders. This is the cooperation. So we use a very most well-known interspecies cooperation species interactions, fake mass systems to research, to study on how the fakes and the fake mass cooperate over the time. This system is one of the most well-known interspecies cooperation interactions. In this fake mass only pollinate for one fake species, and this fake species only allows one species to pollinate for them. So this is a highly species-specific interaction. However, this wasp after they enter this fake colony, this fake wasp first pollinate to the flower, but they also deposit eggs into the ovules of flowers. So there is also exists a conflict between them. So in these systems, in fact, exists two aspects of conflict. One is some species, even able to be a parasite, complete cheaters. They never kept dispersed pollen for the plants. So this conflict is very obvious. Another conflict is even the wasp is a pollinating wasp, but the common resources is very limited. If the wasp deposits more eggs, then they might utilize more flowers at the expense of the seeds of the fakes. Then this conflict may also disrupt. This is a well-known problems, Fraser dilemmas, or tragedies of commons. Similar with both farmers would like to overgraze the grassland, but then the cooperation would maybe disrupt. So let me first try to use experiment to say how the natural selection to solve this tragedy of commons. We first focus on the tragedy of commons one, the parasite. This is a long pollinator wasp. They deposit eggs from the outside of the sycorium, so they never disperse the pollen for the fakes. But some individuals of pollinating wasps also able to be the cheaters. This is the cheaters. They never carry pollens for the fakes, but this is the pollen carried wasps. They have the pollens here. So our observation shows very interesting. If the wasps are carrying pollen, carrying-free wasps. They have two strategies to sanction or punishment these traitors or parasite wasps. One is through abortions. They will abort all of the fruits. Then they kill all of the young pollinators. Another, if the wasp is some individuals of the pollinator wasp, they are the pollinator wasps, but they do not carry pollen for the figs. Then the figs use another strategies. They will restrain the development of the wasp upstream. That means if the wasps do not carry, the individuals of pollinator wasps do not carry pollen for the figs, their offspring will most be killed, will not be able to develop to be the adult wasps. In addition, these sanctions or the punishment will greatly depend on the numbers of the traitors. More traitors, the higher punishment will be. More interestingly, the figs even could kill more females than male. You know, in the populations, most of the effective reproduction units depends on the female wasps, not the male. So this punishment is much more efficient than the kill all of the individuals. And also, we shows if the pollen carried, the reward is also increased with increasing the number of all these individuals. But they have the threshold. After reach the threshold, the reward will not increase. This is, it seems, very similar with the human societies. If the wasps do not cooperate with the figs will sanction or punish the traitor or the parasite. So in my our observation shows very different stories here. If we use the term to describe the lung and the parasite or the traitors of the pollinator wasp as exploiters, we will say the wasps will diverge the strategies to be the cooperative individuals or the traitors or even the parasite. They diversify the strategies. But the figs is the dominant here. They also diversify strategies to punish punishments of traitors or the parasite. They use different strategies. One strategy is abort all the fruits. This is abort all the fruits, kill all of the traitors. Another strategy is just restrain the development ratios. They can decrease the fitness or interest or benefit income of the traitor wasps. Then, because of this mechanism, they will create the population's fluctuation scale. If the pollinator in the pack is a dominant species, then the traitors or lung pollinator will immigrate. But the lung pollinator or traitors is more competitive than the pollinators. The traitor always more competitive than the cooperative individuals. Then they will kill all of the cooperative pollinator wasps. Then the figs will sanction or punishment these traitors. And in this situation, then the pollinators will immigrate again. Then the population increased and becomes dominant again. So there's a cycle between this lung pollinators, traitors, and pollinator wasps and figs. Figs will be fluctuating. So a very minor question is, if the lung pollinator increase, Here we show the more cheaters, the higher punishment will be. But everyone knows the punishment will cost you more. So if the number always increased, then the sanction cost or punishment cost for the fakes will also increase. Why the cost will not overhead then the benefits the fakes received? Then the fakes may not like to pay the cost of punishment. We found the predators will help to decrease the sanction of the cost, because the predators here will many discriminatively kill the long pollinators. Many kill the long pollinators, not pollinator wasps. So the long pollinator wasp population will remain at a lower level. So the sanctions for the fakes will seldom occurs, not always. This is prisoner one, the tragedies of commons one. Another tragedies of commons is the competition between the fakes and pollinator wasps. Both of them are the cooperating partners. But because the common resources are limited, they may also compete with common resources between the fakes and the pollinator wasps. We observed, our experiment shows this is really true. When the common resources are plentiful, there many shows cooperative interactions between fakes and pollinator wasps. But if the common resources is low, then this cooperative interaction will transform to be the conflict interactions. If this always occurs, this cooperation interaction must disrupt. But why, in the natural conditions, this cooperation interaction still be stably remain? Another experiment was shows the fakes could set rules to repression the increase of the pollinator wasps. Here is the experiment. If the non-pollinator wasps enter the sequoias, the fakes will enclose their branch very quickly. If the only one, they may wait for 60 hours to wait for the more pollinator wasps to enter the sequoia. But if we introduce these wasps, merely introduce, we will say the more pollinator wasps enter the fakes, the seeds and the growth under, at first, they will increase, but after the threshold, will decrease greatly. That means, positively, this is the branch enclosed mechanism will lead to the competitions between the pollinator wasps. Because the pollinator wasps compete with each other or fight with each other, then that decrease the common resource utilization, then this cooperation could be maintained, could avoid the competitions. Then we use further experiments. If the wasps do not encounter meet each other, then no competition or no fight. So in this experiment, we introduce the wasps together simultaneously. In this experiment, we introduce wasps sequentially. For very different patterns observed. When the wasps introduced are introduced into the sequoia simultaneously, this shows a strong cooperation interaction. Both wasp offspring and seeds production increased. But if we sequentially introduce the wasps, the more wasp offspring, the more seeds production. But after threshold, they will decrease greatly. That means this is the cooperation interaction, this is the conflict interaction. They transform from each other. A different spatial structures between the wasps will lead to the very different interactions between fakes and fake wasps. Then the fitness interactions between fake and fake bus then will be stochastically oscillating. So this is and another observation shows we can also use simulations with mathematical simulations. If we increase seeds and course or the observing ratios, they may increase the probabilities of the cooperation interactions. Our observation also shows the same story there. So we can use pictures to describe we observe in the fake cooperation interaction between fakes and fake bus. Here we can use a boat tracker as a pollinator bus. The host we can also figure to be fakes. In these interactions, in fact, it's a cooperation between the boat owner and the boat tracker. But we will say this is a cheater. So how this boat trader and boat owners to be the all cooperatively reach their get their benefit advantage? We will clearly say the boat owners is dominant. The boat trader is weak partners. This is strong. Exists very strong asymmetric interactions, but whether the boat tracker cooperates with the boat owners is not a certain cases. This exists some stochastics. But we also say this asymmetric interaction all things exist three aspects. One is the payoff. The boat owners earn more than the boat trackers. And also information stage is also in the at the asymmetric stage. The boat owners don't know who is the cheater, who is the work more. They don't know. And also, in these two players, the evolutionary pathway, or we can use another specific terms, the evolutionary rate is very different. In this boat tracker, they have the more intentions to get to innovations for the more new ideas or strategies, but the owners more concerned. This is our guess. So we also try to use some mathematical method to describe why in observed cooperation system always exists conflict. Also there exists cooperation interactions. But why in our observed behaviors it seems reciprocity or the kin relationship also works in the systems. We just use simulations. We found the higher reciprocity or kin relationship, the less conflict will be. But it's not a cases that if you have the high benefit exchange or the high kin relationship, well, then no conflict. It's not the story. This result could explain why everybody would like to the social activities to make better co-relationship. You know, Russia and USA have conflict, but they try to get a better relationship. This will decrease conflict frequency. Then we also use same models based on symbol of the Professor Hoyt, the Hawkdale models. But we just change the payoff. We use a asymmetric payoff between the two players. We also find the both asymmetric interactions and also as well as benefit cost ratios will promote the evolution of cooperation, will increase the probabilities of the cooperation interactions. Here we shows if they have the higher benefit cost ratios, the more higher cooperation probabilities. And also, the asymmetric interactions will work with the benefit cost rate together, not independently. So this picture would like to describe these situations. You know, these interactions, these two countries is highly asymmetric, but the cooperation probabilities is much higher than the asymmetric countries here. So then we try to understand the punishment intensities. The punishment mechanism is correlated with reciprocity or the kin relationship. Are they the independent mechanism or they work together? Then we designed another experiment. Here, this one is all the pollen-carried wasps. These are all the pollen-free wasps. This is cheetah. We will find with the increase of the pollen-carried wasps, the reward will remain stable. But if the more cheaters, the punishment or sanctions will increase greatly. So we found the sanction intensity strongly depends on the cheaters numbers here. And also, if you use participant ratios, we basically found that the sanction intensity strongly depends on the participant. That means how harmfully to the figs, then the figs will also how strongly sanctions will be. I think most of the theoretical scientists know the reciprocity degrees depends on the numbers of the cheaters. This is defined by the stem from. So this experiment shows the sanction intensity strongly depends on the relationship. The higher relationship, the less sanction will be. The less lower relationship will lead to the higher sanctions. And also we use another experiment which shows if the cheaters and the cooperative cheater wasps and the cooperative wasps together, what story? We found very interesting. The figs will not be able to distinguish who is the cheater, who is honest cooperative individuals. They don't know. But the sanctions just depends on how many seeds receive. So we argued that possibly exist group sanctions. If the cheater and honest exist together, the dominance traits, figs, will never try to distinguish who is the cheater, who is the honest. Just sanctions depends on their own benefit. Another experiment we have not shown here. Even we use cooperative individual, the pollen-carried wasps, the figs even still sanction such wasps if the pollen level is very low. So this is our observation shows that figs seems to say that any strategy just depends on what benefits they receive. They never care who is the cheater, who is the cooperative, who is the honest one. So we developed another concept. We call it the super rationalities. That means a little different from the rational strategies. You know, as many have reported in this morning, the rational strategies, the players always will consider the strategies of your counter player. But the super rational strategies, they do not. They just to say that any strategy just depends on the benefits they earn. So we just develop a mathematical model, just use super rationality, and then assume the payoff is asymmetric. Then we found the cooperation could be well able. If in the asymmetric payoff, but they use rational strategies, there are only stronger ones to remain. But if both of the players use super rational strategies, and then the payoff is asymmetric, then this both two could be coexist. So we need to answer another question: why some individual could be able to be the altruistic or even suicide to help others? It seems from our experience shows that since it is because of sexual drive. You know, I know in China, everyone knows these stories. The beauties love the heroes. I think it's also true in the Western countries. The beauty love the heroes. So, you know, if someone have some environmental selection pressures, you first allocate the limited resources much to the survival, then to the future reproductions. But you have the very, very strong motivations for these features. So if you invent more and more to this, then maybe you forget this one. This is our argument. In the evolution, in the highly asymmetric system for the evolutions, everyone may sacrifice the reproduction features, but you then invest more resources to the survivors to become stronger in body. Then you have more opportunities to win the fight. Then you have higher probability to be a hero. Then you might, in the future, get more beauties. This is my argument. Then we just use this argument, assumption, when we assume that there are trade-offs between survival and reproduction, and then male and female. If the individuals always first allocate the resources to the survival, then to reproduction, and then first to female, then to male, then we will find that environmental selection pressures increase will lead to very different sex ratio. If you use kin selections, that means you reproduce high quality offspring. If you use R selections, it means you reproduce high numbers of offspring, will lead to very different sex ratios. This is our guess. Then we try to still use fake figures to examine our speculations. Here is a fake figures, is very famous systems for the sex ratio evolution examination systems. In the previous stories, most of the scientists believe that figures could adjust sex ratios just according to the kin selection. That means inbreedings or locomotive competitions, because it might lead to the female sex ratios. Because male in such situation will contribute less to the mothers. This is the theoretical prediction by Hamilton in 1967 in Science. But then they use fake bars well to examine these theoretical predictions. But our re-examination shows it's not stories like that. We shows in the 5 species, in the first flowers, the sex ratio is the same. It's almost 70% of the male. And all of the lifespan, the sex ratio is the male, the female is about 20%. But it just depends on the mating systems. If the wasp mating outside of the fruits, they will have the sex ratio about 1 to 1. But if the mate within the fruits, the sex ratio should be about 2 to 8. It's not the inbreeding or the local mate community cannot adjust the sex ratio of the fake ones. It's a very different stories in my re-examinations. Thanks very much.
Questions?
Thank you for your interesting talk, Professor Rui Wang. I was wondering, most of these fig wasp studies are done in the Western world, and do the wasps behave in the same way in the tropical garden you are studying at in Yunnan province?
Yeah, we have mostly my previous work only use one fig trees, but now we use different fig species for comparison. At least in the sex ratio, we use 5 species to re-examine, but the same patterns we have observed. Yeah. As a selection mechanism is also similar. We use dioecious figs. It also shows the same patterns.
All right, so the species you're looking at is still the same as it is used in many of these other mutualism studies?
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you for the questions, and also thank you for Professor Wang's talk.